Hi guys, Josh Garrison here. I just wanted to talk really about everything that's been going on just recently. So, as you know, on Thursday we had the suicide of Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington. The band had just finished the European leg of their tour and were back in LA for a few days, about to head out on the US leg, I believe, later this week. Bennington, who was 41 when he died, suffered from bouts of depression for many years, despite being the frontman of one of the only new metal bands to survive past the early 2000s. And the Linkin Park song One Step Closer was obviously about Bennington's struggle with depression. Personally, I haven't quite been there, but almost. I suffered from low self-esteem and low self-confidence as a teen, and especially in certain situations like talking to attractive women, or women I found attractive. I did have some female friends, but the women I found attractive I just couldn't talk to. I froze. Got all butterflies and I froze. And to be honest, that is where Joshua Garrison came from. That's where the identity of Joshua Garrison came from. Garrison was a character in a story I was writing at the time, and he was a way of expressing who I wanted to be. He was the complete opposite of who I am. You know, this was the person I wanted to be. Strong, self-confident, self-assured, good to the ladies. And, yeah. Couldn't even ask out the girl I first fancied at school at age 11 because I was too shy and too scared, and ended up losing her to someone else eventually. The thing is, when we did get back in contact many years later, actually just a few years ago, about 5 years ago, one of the first things she said to me was, "Should have been you." So going back to that point, at one point about 25 years ago, so I was about 14, 15, something like that, things got really bad for me, and after arguing with my parents, I yelled, "Let me out of this hellhole," and stormed out of the house. Now, I lived out in the country at this time, very rural. My parents have always believed it was just my way of blowing off some steam after the argument, but I was actually referring to my life at that point in time. Anyway, after I'd walked out, I'd walked almost the 4 miles to the nearest town. This is what I mean by rural Britain. I'd walked almost 4 miles to the nearest town before my mum caught up with me in the car. I then had another bout. I suffered a massive downturn in my attitude and a hit to my self-confidence when my marriage fell apart 9 years ago. As I've just said, I wasn't always that. I've always been quite shy and not very good at picking up women. I took up karate classes, but after my divorce I stopped going. I gave up on everything for a long time. And the karate classes were doing me good as well. I stopped caring for a long time. I stopped believing I could ever be happy. I stopped believing I could meet someone. I started going out drinking more to self-medicate. As you know, I'm a big Real Al fan. So, and there's one day, I was living on my own at this time, so I went out was feeling really low. I went out and I drank for 11 hours straight. I drank for 12 hours straight. I drank from 11 AM to 11 PM. That's how bad I was, and I didn't want to go home. This was actually, I think that was just before my divorce, and I didn't want to go home. I sat there crying at the bus stop because I didn't want to go back. That's how bad things had got for me. I binge ate a lot. Oh, yeah. Bollocks. Am I still going out on Periscope? Sorry, it's just disconnected me from. Sorry, it's just disconnected me from YouTube for talking about this stuff. It says health check failed. Someone's obviously reported my broadcast to YouTube. Let me just check I'm still going out live on Periscope. It's not very good to YouTube, is it? To disconnect people for talking about this stuff. I thought this stuff would. Come on, it's not going to let me in now. Right, it looks like I'm still transmitting live on Periscope, so. And I can't get into this, so. Let's try a different account. Sorry guys, if I am still live, I'm sorry. And I've lost myself mid-flow, haven't I? So. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I don't know if this is still running, but Periscope looks like it's still running, so. Sorry, I was trying to have a serious conversation and YouTube threw me off. So, yeah. Typical. Right. Sorry, where was I? Sorry, I'm trying to have a serious conversation and. So yeah, I was talking about Joshua Garrison, wasn't I? Talking about who I am and where I came from, so. Oh yeah, that was it. I'd given up on everything, basically. Stopped believing I could be happy. Yeah, there we are. And because I was drinking a lot more, I was binge eating, I put on a lot of weight, which I'm still struggling to shift. But the one thing I didn't give up on, the one thing that kept me going was my music and my singing. And I attended a weekly karaoke, which I attended as regular as clockwork as I can. For a few hours a week, I felt happy and I felt accepted. So what did I do about all this? Well, I turned to online dating. It worked for a while. got talking to some nice women, mostly American, and then they only talked to me for a little bit, a few months maybe, a few weeks, a few months. And my confidence got hit again when they stopped talking to me. And they suddenly stopped talking to me for no reason, just no responses at all. You know, we'd been talking and then all of a sudden they didn't reply to my messages. You know, we're talking about 2008 here, so yeah. And then in November of 2010, through a dating site, I met a nice Polish girl. Got talking, I thought we could hit it off, you know. I got my confidence back a little. But when I told her I liked her, she said she just wanted to be friends. And that's fine, we still are friends. So 7 years, almost 7 years later, 6.5 years later, we're still friends, so that's good. That's good. So I'm glad something good came of that. Took a break over the Christmas New Year period, and in New Year of 2011 started shutting down my accounts because these online dating are expensive. I'd been doing it for 3 years with no avail. I gave up again because it was just getting too expensive, far too expensive. Then, as I was shooting down my final account, around about Valentine's Day 2011, I think just after, I saw a message. I read it, looked at the profile, decided to respond to it. It's the best decision I've made in a long time. The message was from a woman in Belarus. Wasn't really sure where Belarus was at that time, only that it was sort of in Europe, somewhere near Russia. We started talking, and I've since struck up an amazing online relationship. We've only met twice in the last 6 years, but you know, these things happen with online relationships, don't they? Both times I reverted to my shy, secluded self, stuck for words, whatever. But things are good, things are great. You know, in my experience, she's really nice, she's really attractive, and this is the sort of woman who would never have looked at me previously. The sort of woman I thought I think would never look at me, never want to go with me. So, and she likes me and I like her, so it's good, it's good. Now, for the first time in many years, because honestly I was unhappy for the last few years of my marriage, but we won't go there. For the first time in many years I'm happy, even if the woman I love is 2,500 kilometres away. Close to home, I have good family, and I'm involved in poetry and beer scenes in Liverpool and surrounding areas. It's been said this week, and much maligned, but I've also heard this said, that suicide is the coward's way out. Don't know if that's true, but you know, I have heard that said before. If you want to talk, and you feel you have no one to talk to, then organisations such as the Samaritans are there to help. The numbers and the websites for the US and UK Samaritans are currently scrolling along the bottom of the screen. So thank you for putting up with me. And it is disconnected. Oh no, that's disconnected. I think that's just the YouTube. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Alright, so I'm now going to go do some poetry. A few poems I've written on this subject. So here we go. I'm going to switch the other mic back on, and I'm going to switch this mic off.
Okay, here we go then. So I've got a couple of poems on this subject. The first one is called. It's sort of an amalgam of things I've felt over the years. It's called "Dying Would Be a Grave Mistake." Right, here we go then. You know what, I'll just read it off here. Dying would be a grave mistake. I just want to die, he told me. There's nothing for me here. Would anybody really care if I just disappeared? Of course you would, they told him. Of course I would, I told him. What about your friends? Friends, he scoffed. Yeah, right. Sometimes I just think they pretend. My family just try to control me. I cannot be myself. For them, I just have to accept my place on the shelf. I can't go where I want just because I'm on my own. I can only go away if it's with them. It's like being a bloody drone. I can't get a girl for trying. I just don't like being alone. I'm sure there's someone out for you, I assured him. You just haven't met the right girl. Part of me wants to live. Part of me hurts so much I'd be better off dead. And I don't know how to resolve the conflict between these two people in my head. So that's that one. And going back to the dating thing, this is called The Worst Thing a Woman Can Say. You meet a really nice woman, either online or in real life, talk for a few weeks, realise you like her, think maybe something can happen. You come on to her, no response. So you say, so, tell me how you feel about me. Then she replies with the worst thing a woman can say. You know, I like you, but I'm not looking for a boyfriend right now. Can we just be friends? Your heart not only sinks, it feels like someone has run a sword through it. So I think that's it. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. I'll do this one. It's inspired by suicide. It was actually a case of cyberbullying that led to suicide. So lots of things. So this is they tormented her on Twitter, berated her on Facebook, commented on all her photos that she had no good looks. She left for school this morning as if everything was fine, but she left all her books and her mobile phone behind. She climbed to the top of the car park, and now she is offline. So yeah, that's my few poems on depression and cyberbullying and various things. You know, so if you're in need of assistance, talk to an adult. Even if you're an adult, talk to someone. Talk to a friend. Talk to a family member. Talk to the Samaritans. Talk to someone. Don't let it go too far. Don't let it get to the point where you feel like you should take your life, because there's always people out there who'll miss you. Thank you everyone for watching and listening, and I'll see you soon.